Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking to you about activities that you can do with songs. So we've talked about how to teach a song if you're not really a musical person, how to teach vocabulary in a way that is interactive, and now we're going to be talking about what activities you can use when you are teaching songs, right? How can you make the song more of a thing, more of a lesson? So here I have some ideas for you. A little bit of a review. So we've talked a bit about the objective. We've talked a bit about, the eliciting techniques, how to engage your students in the class. And what I would like to remind you of is don't use the classic listen and repeat, which is a little bit like this. The teacher holds up a flashcard. What is this? Fish. Say it after me. Fish, fish, fish. Or actually, they don't even say what is this. They're just like, this is fish. Repeat after me. Fish, fish, fish. I really want you to steer clear of that kind of way of teaching. I just don't find it very engaging when you're introducing a new word. You can do that for pronunciation, but when you're introducing a new word, try to choose a method that will get your students involved. And I've already given you what those methods are. Avoid giving long explanations. If you must talk about the word, keep it to one sentence and ask CCQs. Make sure you ask CCQs. All right, let's go on. When you are teaching in this class, I think I'm going to limit it to, for your first presentation anyways, I'm going to limit it to 3 steps. Number 1 is a hook, just introducing yourself and the topic, what the class will be about. Number 2 is teaching your vocabulary. Hopefully I'm going to get to see you guys using at least one of those techniques that I've talked about. That is not just about using pictures. And then also teaching your students a song with, gestures, with everything. All right. So what kind of activities can you use when you're teaching songs? Well, I have a couple of them. I'm just gonna pull them up. So I have ones which you can use before you sing the song, before you introduce what the song is all about, is focus it and highlight it. And stop it can be a really good way to look out for vocabulary words that you're teaching. You can have your students really focus and listen out for those vocabulary words. And then just all the others are fun activities that you can do to make more of the song. So you have lip sync, strip it, question it, gap it, write it, change it, draw it. And I'm going to go through them one by one, giving you some more, breaking them down and how you can use them. So the first one we have is focus it. Like I said, focus it. You can use it before you learn the song. And here, all you need to do is get your students to start thinking about the song, about what it's about. So you show them the title or a picture of the song, and you get your students to guess, to tell you what they think the song is about. So here I have some pictures. I have potatoes. I have somebody with a knife and a potato. And I have a bowl of something mushy. So ask your students, what is it about? So I'm going to be expecting my students to say potatoes, cooking, mashed potatoes, peeling. I'm going to expect all of those kinds of things to come out from my students. How about this next song? You have obviously fish, you have fingers, and you have somebody fishing. What is this song about? Again, expected answer, fishing, angry fish, hand fish. All right, so those are the expected answers that I'm gonna be having. The first song, it's about potatoes, obviously, but it's from the song Go Bananas, and in the second verse, they go, first you plant the potatoes, plant potatoes, then you peel the potatoes, peel potatoes, then you mash potatoes, mash potatoes. And in this song, it's about a fish. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger so. Which finger? bite this little finger on my right. So very simple. Okay, how about this one? Okay, this one is really interesting. You have a lady, well, two people actually, a man and a woman. Obviously, looks like they're getting married. Then you have a soldier, and then you have clothing with a price tag. What is this song about? Now, I don't think the students would be able to guess what this song is about just from these pictures, because the song is actually really complicated. The song is called Soldier, Soldier, Won't You Marry Me, right? Soldier, Soldier, Won't You Marry Me. Maybe I would combine the title and the pictures. Sorry, I'm trying to find the lyrics of the song so that the students can kind of understand what the song is about. All right, we're gonna take a look at the song a little bit later. How about this last one? You have toast, you have some peanut butter, you have jam. What is this song about? This is actually one of my favorite songs, and it's a hit amongst my students. I'm going to show that to you guys next week. All right, so let's take a look at another one. Highlight it. Again, this is another activity that you can do before you teach your students the song. And it basically says, put a selection of important words from your song on the board. Have students ask each other what the words mean, or play a matching game. So those two options are really good. If your students are a little bit advanced, then you can just put the words up and ask them to think about what it means. If your students are not, then get them to play a matching game, right? And this is where you have to kind of do a little bit of work. Put the words on cards, on stock cards, or those kind of small cards. You can find them at Daiso. And then on another card, put a definition or a picture, and they just have to try and match the word and the definition together. Or they can match the word and the picture. However, the level of students that you find yourself at, make sure you tailor it to them. So here we have a couple of words from our song. It's marry, musket, sweet, coat, maid, drums, grandmother's chest, drums. Oh, I have drums twice. Hat, boat, tie. What do you think this song is about? If you were to see those words, what do you think this song is about? And you can take it a step further by getting your students in small groups. They can write a story using those words, right? I've done it before, and you can do this really well. This is also another great practice of nouns. You can put the words with their kind of little aid words with the article or without the article, however you want to use it. And then the students can just use those words. You can even cut out the words and get them to move the words around and try to make a story out of it, right? I wonder what stories you guys would make if you were given these words. Actually, I might do that. I might give you guys these words and see what kind of story you guys come up with. So yeah, get them to write a story. Again, that's another way that they can be learning about the words. They can be thinking about what they're going to learn. And you can do highlight it and focus it instead of the traditional, flashcard and instead of the traditional book. It's much more student focused, and it puts, it centers the students, because they're learning, they're working with the words, they're figuring it out, instead of you just doing all of the work. And you can help and assist the students as much as possible. Okay, so that's highlighted. Next activity is after the students have learned about the song, or after the students have learned about the words. A really good activity that you can do with them is stop it. And stop it is really simple. Again, write a selection of the words in the song, from the song, on the board, as we did earlier. And then students must shout stop anytime they hear one of those words that has been mentioned. So earlier I had on the board marry, musket, sweet, coat, maid, dreams, grandmother's chest, drums, hat, boat, tie. Anytime the kids hear one of these words, they need to shout stop, and you stop it. And you can even turn it into some sort of a point system to encourage more competition, things like that, right? You could also stop before the word is said and ask them to guess what do they think the word would be. So this is really good if they don't have the lyrics, so that they can really pay attention and try and tune in, try and hear for this word to come out. Maybe for your students who find it a little bit harder to read, or just to make it easier for them, you can even cut out the words. So for example, if this was the word in the song, you can have it, and anytime they hear the word, they pick it up and show it to you, or they pick up a picture and show it to you. All right, let's go to the next one. Lip sync. Again, you guys know this is a famous show where people lip sync, and it's really fun. You can just have fun and get them to all practice the song, and in groups go up and try to lip sync it and just have fun. Strip it. Classic. You take a song, you cut it into pieces and mix it, and the students have to try and put it back together. Now, I think if you have, slightly advanced students, maybe think about giving them a song with more words. But if you have maybe a lower level class, maybe giving them a simple song, like Old MacDonald's, so that they can put it back together. But if you have a group that's pretty advanced, they can read pretty well, and you give them a song like Old MacDonald's, it's not very challenging. So again, think about your students' level, and try to make it, try to make the level of how hard the activity is. I'm trying to find the word. Basically, all I'm trying to say is match the activity to the level of your students. So if you've got students who are advanced and they can pretty much read everything and they understand lots of words, and give them a little bit of a difficult song, slightly a pop song, or maybe from the Disney movies, because those have lots of lyrics and they can be a bit hard to figure out. But if you have a lower level group, don't give them one of those songs, because really they'll be having a really hard time. Students just basically need to organize the words into the right order, and you can do it again. You can do a competition, you can do it timed, you can add different elements to make it fun. And again, I keep saying and again, but really and again, making your don't make your students compete, so that like blood and war, but putting in a little bit of a time constraint, or a little bit of this team and versus that team and points. It really motivates the students to learn, and it motivates them to work harder. And sometimes what I find is, if there's one student misbehaving, I put them in a team, and if they're making the team lose, so it kind of becomes the other student's problem, so they have to be encouraging him or her and being like, come on, play properly, or otherwise our team loses. Sometimes I kind of put a little bit of responsibility on the students, so that they can encourage each other. All right, next one is questioning. Here you have students ask each other questions about the song, about the words, about the topics, or about the characters in the song. So I have a song here that I do like to teach and introduce. I like the lyrics and the words. I like the lesser known version by Connie Tolbert. It is a Bruno Mars song, but it was sung by this little girl ages ago. She's probably a grown woman by now. But I really like her version, and it works well with kids. And the lyrics are, if you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what you're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. So you can look at the lyrics, learn about the words, and then ask some questions. Again, match the questions to the level of your students. So I have mixed bunch of questions. Some are very hard, some are quite easy. So I have the question, have you ever been stuck? Have you ever been stuck? Can you tell me about it? Have you ever been stuck? And obviously I would teach what the word stuck means in order for the students to be able to do this. What does stuck mean? Have you ever been lost? And again, you can do what does lost mean? Are you afraid of the dark? Is the song about friends or family? So this would mean that they would have to look at the lyrics of the song to be able to find that answer. Or maybe I would underline friends so that they can find the answer. Describe your best friend, because this song is really about your best friend. And what does count on me mean? Again, I'm trying to get them to break that down. I would ask that number 7 question to a higher level group who can communicate a little bit more with me. And I have found that. I definitely have found there are students that, you know, have a really good understanding of English. Maybe they've lived abroad, or maybe they just went to really good Hagwons, or they just have a knack for English and they communicate pretty well. So not all of your students are gonna suck at English. You're gonna have some brilliant students out there. So be prepared to, you know, help them as well. Because if it's so boring, they get bored, right? So you have to have a mix. All right. Again, for the advanced student out there, you can choose 2 songs that have a similar theme, right? And get them to discuss about it. And, you know, they can also ask each other questions about it. That's for more advanced students. Okay, gap it. This is the activity that most people prepare. Is basically just make a gapped version of your song. What I don't really like this activity, because I just find as soon as I say make an activity for a song, this is the activity that everybody usually chooses. This and the next one that I'm going to talk about, but I kind of prefer the next one a little bit because it takes a little bit more creativity. It's an alright activity, guys, but it's just I've seen it so many times. You've probably seen it so many times, so it's not always that interesting. That's not the one I wanted to talk to you about. Let me go to the one that I wanted to talk to you about first, and that is change it. And it is basically, you've done it before. If you've done EP1 with me, you definitely did a change the lyrics activity with the intimacy spider. Here you basically get the students to change specific words in the song, such as adjectives, adverbs, nouns, names, places, or feelings. Words that carry meaning. You get them to change that. And I did an example for you guys. Give me a second. Where is it? I had opened it here. Okay. I did Humpty Dumpty. All right. I did Humpty Dumpty. So here we have Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. All right. And then I started off changing a few of the words. I changed wall to ball. I changed fall to call. So Humpty Dumpty sat on a ball. Humpty Dumpty had a great call. And then I changed the name of the main character from Humpty Dumpty to Sally Frumpy. Now this is where your knowledge and your use of syllables will come in super handy. You can change the lyrics of a song really well if you're able to count the right number of syllables. And if you don't know how to count the syllables, check the dictionary or go to howmanysyllables.com. So here we have Humpty Dumpty, so it's 4 syllables. Each word is 2-syllable word, and I changed it exactly with that. Sally Frumpy, right? So the rhythm, the melody stays exactly the same. Sally Frumpy sat on a ball. Sally Frumpy had a great call. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Frumpy together again. Da, 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 da. All right, so then I changed some of the verbs in there, some of what she did. So before we had sat, had, and I think we had together, and I changed spat to spat and heard, and then I changed together to prison to make it make sense with what's happening in the song. So this is how it goes. Sally Frumpy spat on a ball. Sally Frumpy heard a great call. All the king's horses and all the king's men had to put Frumpy in prison again. All right, because it didn't make sense to say couldn't put Frumpy together again. It didn't make sense, so I had to change that last line. And then I changed kings to queens, and I think men to monkeys and friends. So this is the final version. 3, 2, 1. Sally from P spat on a bowl. Sally from P heard a gurgle. All the king's monkeys and all the queen's friends had to perform P in prison again. When I'm doing this type of activity, color coding is really important. I would put nouns in one color. I would put verbs in one color. I will put whichever word you want the students to change in a certain specific color. And then I would, during the book time, the pre-teaching time of your lesson, I would try and get them to give me as many ideas of those similar words as possible, which will make the changing of the lyrics a lot easier. All right, let's go back to our PPT. Let's go back to our PPT. So that's how you can use change it. Now, let's take a look. I think this is the one before the last activity. Write it. Now this can be a really great activity, as I found recently. I found out recently that some kids who are really quiet and don't communicate may actually be able to write a lot better than they speak in English. So give your students a chance to write as much as possible. So here, you want to work on letters. Get your students to write the main character or the singer of the song a letter, right? Or if the song had some sort of questions in there, you could answer the question. So basically get them to write something concerning the song. So I had the song earlier, you saw Soldier, Soldier, Won't You Marry Me? It's a really sad song, and it's about, a lady wants to get married to this soldier, but he's not ready to make that commitment because he's already married. So I once did this activity with some of my students, and I got them to write letters, and this was the response from the students. It said, "Dear sweet maid, I heard your sad story. Cheer up. Please don't cry. I wish you get good person. Good luck, sweet maid, from Mrs. Stanley. P.S. If you want, I can bring back a musket to you." And a musket is a gun. And here's another letter. "Dear sweet maid, I'm so sorry to hear that you are sad. Please don't be sad. Thank you for your favor. I really like your hat, coat, and tie. Cheer up and good luck." From Stanley. And Stanley, we said Stanley was the soldier. So this was from Stanley's wife, and then this is directly from Stanley. "P.S. If you love me, you can be my second wife." So I just thought it was really, really funny. I think I have one more here. Again, the student was writing it from the soldier who broke the maid's heart. Said, "Dear sweet maid, I'm so sorry, but I love you. It was all a lie, but now I know that I need you. Maybe you want to kill me with my musket. Though, will you be my second wife? Please marry me. I'll wait for you." I just thought it was hilarious. Some of the stuff that the students came up with. Obviously, university students, they're adults. Maybe the kids won't come up with the same kind of content. Or maybe they do. You never know. You never know with kids these days. All right, the final activity that I would like to suggest is simply draw it. So get your students to draw or collage the song, and then you can just put up all their drawings, their collages around the classroom and have a gallery walk. It's really good. And I really like a song called Catalina Mandolina. Right? It's a very, it describes the character in the song, so it really helps our imagination. So if you have a song that's very descriptive of the characters, why don't you do a drawing activity? Oh well, okay guys, that is all for the activity sections. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I hope that these activities help you to drum up some really great activities with your students. Be encouraged. If it works out for you, if you have a really great class with any of these activities, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching my videos. As always, if you do like them, press the like so other people can get to know about these fun activities, and subscribe. So for now, thank you very much. Bye bye.